shit she was saying, it wouldn't even happen in a fucking movie. That would, ultimately lead to the end of our friendship.
Do we need therapy?
Yeah. Right about now, we're gonna take it from the top. Right about now, we're gonna take it from the top. Right about now, we're gonna take it from the top. Right about now, we're gonna take it from the top.
Liars, cheaters, and fucking snakes.
Tea.
You're
Comes
savage.
out hot.
Yeah.
Comes out real
Piping
hot.
tea.
That's what today's session's about.
Is that your 2024 energy? Be honest.
My 2024 energy is don't fuck with anyone that doesn't bring peace to your life.
Wow.
I
I
love
love
that.
that.
You want me to leave?
They're
That's
breaking
I'll
what
up.
I'm
go.
getting at.
This
Yeah.
is her subtle
yeah.
way of breaking up
Yeah.
with you.
Are you breaking up with me?
We're
Yeah,
doing it live.
very on brand for us.
Yeah.
Who hurt you?
2023 was a shit show. Okay, I feel like there was so much drama, so many ups and downs. But
With
there-
multiple people or with
yeah, I guess like
Yeah.
a couple
Yeah.
of people were involved in this. Yeah. But yeah, I guess we'll just get right in and spill the fucking tea.
Tell me who hurt
I'm
you.
so
I'll
excited.
find them.
So, I believe we met this person at like closer to the end of 2022. So then in 2023, we all became pretty close, pretty much hanging out with this person like 5 days a week. Everything was good. It was fun. It was just like a nice person to hang out with. Like one of those people that like you can just sit in silence with and, like wasn't draining your social battery. So it was like a good,
mindless.
yeah. And it was nice. It was like a mutually beneficial, chill friendship. Basically, we started noticing a lot of inconsistencies in this person's stories. And it wouldn't be anything big, but it was just like minor inconsistencies here and there.
Yeah, like
And
shit ain't the math ain't mathin'.
and math ain't
Yeah.
mathin'.
Was
and
it?
my
Was it small things that you were like, that's so silly to like lie about? Like why?
it was a mix, small and big
Yeah,
things, but
okay.
all questionable as to why, because it was never really like we're asking you a direct question, you're lying about it. It's like you're telling us
Actively.
something that we didn't ask,
Fair.
and going into
Crazy details.
Crazy,
Oh
crazy
my
lies
God.
about
Okay,
it.
Yeah,
interesting.
and I feel like that's how that's a first sign of someone who's lying is when they're going into extreme detail when nobody fucking
Unprompted.
asks.
Yeah,
Unprompted.
yeah.
Like, why are you saying all this? It's just giving made up.
Yeah.
Pathological liar.
yeah.
It's giving fictional.
My number one thing is
I don't know why that got me. Continue.
my number one thing is don't lie to me.
Yeah.
Like
We've talked about that a lot.
I'm
yeah.
so big on that. And even if it's a white lie, even if it like just don't. I don't care if you lie to your mother or your partner. That's my boundary with me. Like I don't want to have anyone in my life who lies to me.
And it's tough when it's a pathological liar because you and I have talked about this a lot. That I think that's like the number one thing for both of us, that there's so much space for you to be honest with us.
Yeah.
Why even waste your energy lying
Yep.
for no reason? But like with a pathological liar, they can't just like choose who they lie to, right?
Exactly.
It's everybody.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But and because that's my number one thing, I'm so attentive with it, and like the way I listen to stories and the way I watch your body language and the way like I can pick up on a lie
Yeah.
in seconds.
So then I'm assuming as soon as this person started doing that, you couldn't just ignore it.
No,
You were
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm
Instant
noticing
red
this,
flag.
I'm noticing this, I'm noticing this.
After a while, the lies were getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and to the point where it was like legal stuff involved. It was like medical illnesses, like things that were very fucking serious, like deaths. Like there were things that were so fucking deep that this person would talk about.
But I called them out. Their social insurance
if you
number
didn't
is.
know, now you know.
Yeah, no, I called them out before on lies, being like, that's my number one thing. Don't ever do it. We're noticing inconsistencies in your stories. It ends here. And they were like, oh my God, I would never. I trust you guys so much. Like, that's not the case. It's misunderstandings, miscommunications. Please don't worry. All of this, like all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Ew.
So it was crazy. So basically, I'll tell you guys the last like blowout that we had to that would ultimately lead to the end of our friendship. So basically, this person comes to us and says, my partner has broken up with me, like is kicking me out of the house, is like dividing up all our stuff. Lawyers are involved. They're taking my dog, all like so
Suing me
much
for
shit.
spousal
Suing me for
support.
spousal support. Also outed me to my family, and now my family doesn't speak to me. I also got in a car accident 2 days ago.
Whoa.
Like
Yeah.
all of these things happen at once, and we were just like,
I think you could say her. She probably knows it's about her.
Yeah. So this, okay, yeah. So she, fuck, me trying to be so like
Subtle.
yeah. So yeah, basically she was just saying all of these things, and I swear to God, the shit she was saying, it wouldn't even happen in a fucking movie.
Right.
And we were like, looked her dead in the eye and said, all of these things have happened to you in the last 72 hours. And she's like, yes.
We had no problem calling her out.
we
would
no-
always call her out
Yeah.
on her shit.
Good
We'd
for
be
you
like,
guys.
you just
Yeah.
said
Need
that and that's what you're
receipts.
sticking with?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, literally show me your phone. Show me that this is what that person said. Like,
Yeah.
we had no
Jesus.
problem doing that to her.
100%. So then we end up like, we were at the party at this time. We end up going home and we're like, this is really suspicious. So then I had went on her Instagram and I saw that the partner who had apparently broke up with her, stole her dogs,
They were on
claiming
terrible
they're on
terms.
terrible terms, starts commenting on like all her photos, saying, oh my God, so beautiful, love you, hard eyes. And I'm like, this is so sus for someone who is literally trying to take you for all that you have. They would not be commenting on your Instagram.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
no.
So we were like, all right.
So we called her out.
Yeah, we called her out and she's like, oh, I don't know why he's doing that. He's so fucking annoying. But like, just
Making it.
Yeah.
like, she's like, oh, I'm texting him right now. Don't ever comment on my pics again. Blah. I'm like,
Ew.
you're just being so fucking weird about this. So a couple days go by and we were just like so heated about this situation.
And we were
like,
friends with the couple.
with the
right?
with her
Right.
partner.
Obviously, we were closer to her, but we were friends with both of them.
Okay.
So one day I had just had enough and I'm like, you know what? I'm calling her partner and I'm going to speak to him and ask him if all this stuff was going on.
Wow.
Like and
Just fact
just
checking.
fact check this shit
Which
because
is fair.
it's fair because I am like fucking done with this. So we call her partner and also it was like fact checking, but like in the occasion that the rare occasion that all of the stuff she was saying was true, we also wanted to make sure she was okay. Like there was a part of me that was like, if she's really going
Yeah,
through
if
all of
this
this,
is
I
true.
can't even
Like,
imagine
Right.
Sick to your
how,
stomach.
yeah, like it was so fucked. So I'm like, I just need to call this person and talk about it. Number one, see if it's true. And if it is true, like what can we do to help if that is the actual case?
Yeah.
So we call and I'm like, hey, you know, oh, they were also engaged. So they were also like planning a wedding at this time.
Right.
So I call and I'm like, hey, you know, I just wanted to check in, make sure everything's okay with you and so. And the person was like, oh yeah, like I think she's just stressed with all the wedding planning. And I'm like,
What?
wedding planning? I'm like, oh, so there's still a wedding. And they were like, yeah. And I'm like,
We're like, so you're not broken up right now? And he was like, what? Like so incredibly shocked and like didn't even know what to say that we were asking this.
yeah. And so we
I don't even know how you get away with that.
Like, do you really, really think that nobody's gonna ask your partner that something so explosive and intense is going on?
Yeah.
And for them to just be like, oh yeah, like totally.
Yeah, exactly. So we were like, what the actual
Crazy.
fuck? So then we start breaking down every single thing that she's ever told us. And now I'm like, I have to fact check everything through this person because
Spoiler alert, nothing was true.
yeah.
Crazy. Didn't see that one
And so,
coming.
yeah. So it turns out we were friends with this person for like a year and a half, I want to say. And not a word they ever spoke to us was fucking true. Every single thing ever was a lie. So we were fucking heated because first of all, don't come in our fucking house. We had like allowed her in our space. She would like stay at our house like when we weren't there.
Wow.
Like, you know, and it was like just so uncomfortable to know that like a person who you thought was so close to you, you actually don't know them at all.
Yeah.
100%. It's
So-
like violating in a
Yes,
way.
it felt like there was a stranger in our fucking home. So we were so uncomfortable. We were so upset. And we were like, well, we're obviously not going to continue to keep a friendship with this person, but we have to call her out. Like, we need to have a meeting face to face and blow up her fucking shit and be like, what the fuck? Oh, like, why would you do this?
Yeah.
to us, you know?
So I wanted both of them to come over. I didn't want just her because
for
then
you.
she could have been like, no, he's lying or this and that. She could have found a way out, right? So I was like, we're inviting both of them over to our house tonight.
Did
and
you do
we
it
are gonna
separately? Like, did you invite them over separately or together?
together.
Okay.
So
we
both
messaged them
She
in
was
a
probably,
group
like,
chat.
He
Yeah.
Shitting her
knew
pants.
he knew the reason why he was coming over,
But she didn't.
know. And then it kind of, when she realized that we were all in on it, she's like, "What? So you guys can ambush me?" Like, she was like annoyed.
Oh, yeah,
that she
playing the
came
victim
over.
all of a
Yeah.
sudden.
Immediately starts playing a victim, and we're like, so and so, you have done so much damage to us in the last year and a half, and like, we've given you everything. We've been such great fucking friends to you. The least you could do is get to my fucking house right now and sit down with us face to face. That is the least you could fucking do.
Wow. Yeah.
Seriously. So she came, and it was the most hostile environment. It was so fucking awkward. And they sat down right on our couch, and we were like,
And we listed everything while looking at her, saying, "Was this true?" She's like, "No." "Was this true?" "No."
How
"Was this true?"
embarrassing.
Yeah.
it was mortifying. I was embarrassed for her. I'm like, how the fuck can you lie to someone for a year and a half, all these crazy stories, and then come to our house and just be like,
No.
yeah, no, that was a lie. That was a lie.
What?
I need to ask them a personal question through you.
Okay.
Are they still together?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
I don't feel bad.
Crazy.
I don't feel bad.
At this point, I don't feel bad.
And he was apologizing to her.
No,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah,
While
I
they
don't
were
feel
at
he
her
bad.
was
house together.
apologizing for gaslighting her.
What?
And I'm like,
You're dating a pathological liar.
someone in this situation was gaslighting someone,
And it
and it
wasn't
wasn't you doing it to her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Oh my
There's
god.
one gaslighter in this room, and it ain't you.
Imagine being such a good gaslighter that you convince the other person that they're
They're
gaslighting
gaslighting- yeah,
you.
Yeah,
that's
No,
that's, like,
honestly, she's a
ultimate level.
genius.
That's
She is a genius.
That's what I mean is
Yeah.
that like they at that point, like if you're accepting that you're gonna be with this person presumably for the rest of your life, good luck.
We were there for her in such like an emotional way. Like, it put so much emotional strain on us, and
Yeah.
you know, when you have a friend going through something like that, it's very stressful for
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
everybody.
Like, you take it on yourself
Because you want to be there and
So
provide as much support
exactly.
as possible.
So we were like, you literally put us through hell for the last year and a half for nothing. Like, is this a sick game to you? Like, playing with our fucking emotions and feelings like
Yeah.
that? Like, it was disgusting. And we had asked her, we're like, why would you ever do this? And what did she say?
She said, "Because I'm self-destructive."
Oh,
And I
that's
said,
it. Okay.
"No, you're destructive to everybody around you because you get to go home and live your happily ever after without
Literally.
being affected at all.
Yeah.
And everyone around you is being affected."
because I'm
Exactly.
That's
stuck.
not self-destruction.
You know what you should have
Exactly.
said? Well, I'm not your therapist.
Yeah.
I feel like
So good.
It's tough because I mean, obviously, all of us are somewhat in the public eye, and it's tough to know who you can trust and who you can't trust. And I find that we've all been in situations, whether it's the last year or a couple years, where we're around people that like we didn't spot that they wanted to take advantage or
Like,
that they
Their intentions were not in the right place.
Yeah, and
Like,
it almost makes me feel like, oh, like who am I? Because you
100%.
can't. It's like, oh my god, is my judgment that off? And I usually like I'm such an energy person that I like to pride myself on like knowing when somebody's like at least to their core good or bad. And there's been a handful of times that I've been wrong. And like those people aren't in my life anymore, but I'm like, oh my god, how could I have been so wrong about this? And you're right, you used the perfect word, violating.
you feel icky.
Yeah,
Like, it gives me the ick when you finally realize that person was actually trash.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, I think I have a pretty good judgment. I have like a good radar as well as my gaydar. It's pretty fucking good.
wow, I'm proud of you.
But my radar for somebody's
Wait, am I gay?
yeah,
Depends
can't
on
be
the
certain.
day.
Hard to
I can't-
tell.
I really
Yeah,
can't.
only on
be
Sundays.
certain. No, I think that I have a really good radar for people's energy, and like I can usually pick up on it before somebody has even spoken a single word to me. I look at them and I'm like, nah, I don't fuck with you.
Not for me.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, I feel like we have noticed a lot in the past year. There's just like some people that like at the beginning for sure they're just like chill, but we talked about this the other day that you can see the people that they're like, oh, like I have no idea who you are, and then about like 6 hours later they're like, oh my god, that's how
Yeah.
I know you, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you're full of shit.
Yeah.
You can tell right away when someone recognizes you from social media.
Oh my god,
like,
yeah.
it's just a look that they have in their eye. It's the
Yeah.
energy. I can tell immediately. And that's another thing about the person that we were talking about at the beginning. We initially met them as a fan. They came up to us and said, oh my God, such a big fan. And we just started talking, hanging out, having drinks, and it just kind of progressed into all of that. So at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, so what were your intentions with all of that? Like, do you do this to everyone? Was it just us? Like,
How do you guys feel about being friends with fans?
I've done it once, and I will never do it again.
really?
I will never do it again. I had a friend, which same kind of situation.
Yeah.
Obviously not to that extent.
Sorry, we're just getting comfy.
That's okay. You guys can cuddle. It's all right.
Okay, you
Oh,
want me to
mask
go
on
mask
mask.
on
We'll
mask?
just be over here. No, I had a friend for probably similar timing who had initially, this was stupid on my part. Maybe I was just lonely. They had
Story of my life.
commented. They had commented on one of my TikToks, being like, "Oh my God, I feel like we'd be such great friends." And she lived in the area, and I was like, "Okay, you know what? Like, fuck it.
I don't see a problem with that.
I don't
Yeah.
like. I didn't see a problem in it either."
yeah.
And then a little while later, I was like, I feel very used. Because then it was like, well, what can you do for my business? What can you do for my dating life?
I think I've learned, like, instead of I mean, I'm sure you guys can relate to this, but usually, especially you and I, like, when there's conflict, like, I want to address it. And I think I've learned to give things a little more space because organically people kind of fizzle out of your life. And I mean, if you don't keep suffocating it, right? Like the relationship. And so for some of the relationships I decided to kind of, you know, finally leave behind in 2023, I let it be this like organic thing where I didn't like sacrifice who I was as a person to get them out of my life. It was just like, okay, whoever's meant to stay will stay. There's other people that I was like, salut, bye, and like booted across the, like, yeeted across the room. But yeah, I think that people like that are really tough, that like obviously are taking advantage, or like they put in so much work in the first, like, even like couple months of like being really good friends with you, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, like, do you think I could, or like, do you know, it's one of those, and I'm like,
But it feels like you were manipulated in a way, because you think the friendship's
100%.
going to be one way, and then all of a sudden they start asking for a favor here, a favor there, or like
They played the long game
yes,
in being your friend just to get what they wanted.
and it feels bad. And I think as creators, we obviously have our friends who we met like before we did any social media, and those people like are still our fucking ride or dies. We know they're there for the right reasons, but then there have been people we've met afterwards, and it is kind of hard to gauge their intentions. Like, and it's not something I'm actively thinking about all the time. I feel like I'm a bit naive when it comes to like giving my like trust to people and like friendship to people. I'm very like, oh my God, yeah, like I'm sure you're so nice. Like, like I feel like
you just see the good always.
I see
You're
the
like,
good in everyone,
You're great.
but it turns around and it fucks me in the ass, because then I learn the hard way that, oh, maybe I should have picked up on those red flags at the beginning, because then I wouldn't be hurt now.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Absolutely.
Have you noticed any of your old friends doing that type of behavior?
Absolutely not.
No.
because you have,
Oh my God.
My friends
I must
are
say,
solid.
I'm obsessed with your friend group. They are
Yeah.
ride or dies.
Yeah, 100%.
I also feel like they're so confident in who they are. Like when
Yes.
we the first time we met them is when we went to this Pride event in Toronto. I
Oh
guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we were so, because you had met like a lot of our friends who like it's like very different dynamics with everybody. And we were so fascinated by like your guys' friend group, and we left the next day, and Vic and I just talked so long about how in love with them we were. Just like they have your back, they love you. It seems like they're people who will like tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Yes, absolutely. They will be the first to have my back, but they'll also be the first to humble me.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like you really need people like that in your life. And yeah, ever since, you know, we started on social media, they have done nothing but be like so supportive, and they like all have told me like how proud they are. And they've just never treated me different, acted different. Like, I'm just
It's proud, not impressed.
Yeah.
exactly. I can tell it, that's exactly
Put
what
that
it
on a
is.
t-shirt, baby.
Yeah,
That's good.
100%.
And I always say that to my friends, like, The people that I like to keep around are the people that I trust with like my world, are the people who are proud of me, not impressed by me. And
Yes.
and I never want that to be different, because I even see like my ride or dies call me out when I need to be called out. And it's like everyone else like walks on eggshells,
Yeah.
and they're like afraid to say what they really think, or what they, if
Yeah.
I've done something wrong, when I've genuinely done something wrong, they like don't call me out for it, and I'll intrinsically think about it and be like, I wonder why they didn't say anything.
Like they're telling you what you want to hear.
Yeah. I don't fuck around with that.
Yeah.
No.
No, I've had a few friends that I've seen kind of their energy shift after what I do has like blown up, or like you as my partner. I even have noticed like people come like crawling out of the woodworks, like people from high school that I'm like, get fucked.
Yeah, that's
Don't
happened a
speak
lot to us.
It's
like even your high
so
school bully.
annoying.
Her high school
Oh
bully
my God.
commented on my photo,
No.
being like, "You guys are so pretty. Carly was always the prettiest girl in school."
no.
And it was her fucking bully.
way.
She used to make my life a living hell. I would literally go home crying every day. And one time my sister had to come to the school because I was too scared to be around this person. And she's like, Carly was always the prettiest girl in school. So is that why you treated me
Yeah,
the way
literally.
you did? Because you thought I was pretty?
Actually, honestly, probably.
Well,
because
yeah,
let's
it
be
makes
honest
sense.
here.
Not
if
a
you
fucking
bully,
excuse.
Yeah.
Not
No,
an excuse.
never,
So
but, like,
shitty.
yeah.
Like,
Thanks for the trauma,
yeah.
bitch.
Jesus.
I get heated about police.
I know, my sweet
Love that.
angel.
Love
That's okay.
okay, baby, what about you?
What about me?
Your friends from the past, are they still your friends today? Have they changed?
No, not at all. But I have a very, 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 very small circle.
Right.
Like I don't have a lot of friends. I've never had a lot of friends. And I have noticed no change whatsoever.
That's nice.
Couldn't care
That's
less
so
about
nice.
anything. Yeah,
I'm so
but
jealous.
a lot of people have reached out. That again, I've had bullies reach out. I've had people who like have talked shit or didn't like me or whatever, commenting, being like, "Always rooting for you," and I'm like, "Are you?
Shut the fuck
Really?
up.
Yeah.
Since when?
Since when?" Yeah.
When you shoved me into a locker?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You're just looking out for me. Are you okay? Oh my God, I should.
You were just trying to protect me from the world by putting me in there?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
I love your
crazy.
perspective. Great.
Always
but yeah.
positive.
It's nothing exciting. No.
So okay, well that's nice for you. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit in the corner being jealous about it.
No, you have really good ride or dies. No, I know you know that, but
No,
you have really
100%.
incredible ride or dies too. And I think, I mean, I love that you started out by saying like the energy we're bringing into 2024 is like, if you fuck with my peace, I forget what the quote is. Oh, I hate when people say that. I'm one of those people now. I think it was like Jay-Z or something, Dark Days.
Oh my God.
And he was like, if you're not like helping me get money, helping me like be peaceful or like whatever, then like no room for you in my life, kind of thing.
100%.
And I butchered that, but it's
Yeah,
it's really
the
roughly
sentiment is there.
Yeah. And I feel
So
like
deep.
it's the same concept, obviously less so money, but it's like,
Just like making you better.
yeah, if you're not
Or
making
making
me
your
better
life
as a human
better.
being, then kick rocks.
Yeah.
No bad intentions in
Wow.
2024.
Wow. For us anyway.
Yeah, no. Like we don't want people around who have
I was
bad
like, I'm sure there's
intentions.
tons of people that have bad intentions.
100%, but we don't fuck with them.
No.
Okay.
And I also feel like it's so important to surround yourself with people that truly want to see you win, like especially in this space. Cause like you can meet other creators and, you know, it seems genuine maybe, but then like they won't engage with your content. And you can tell that it's like,
It's more competition.
it's
based.
more,
Yeah.
they see it as competition. And I just don't understand because like there is room for everyone
Yeah.
in this industry.
100%.
Everyone
every
can
industry.
exist and everyone can succeed at one time. So I don't understand the point of trying to compete with someone. Like if you can work together with someone, you guys are going to both gain way more. You
Excel.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? You guys are going to both excel. So I don't
100%.
understand why people are like,
It's so cringy. Like there's just like so much space for everybody to be successful. So let's just fucking chill with that.
Can I ask you guys a personal question?
I
yes.
would love
If
that.
you feel like it.
I don't know if it's a little contradicting, but we met through social media.
You sure did.
Do you think it changes your perspective on the person based on the fact that we also had a following and became friends versus if we hadn't had a following? Would you have felt like,
You were reaching out for other reasons.
yeah, or if we were
Oh,
equally as
interesting.
trustworthy? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Fair. I think we have a really unique situation. I don't think I ever noticed your like following. I remember seeing your content, and you know how TikTok has the feature where it's like follows you or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think that was the situation, and I followed you guys, but I just loved your content. So I was like, these people seem really great. So I don't think I like, for me, it was never a number. Mm-hmm. And obviously then you met both of you through that situation. So I don't think for us specifically that would have changed anything, because it was never about the number. But I do think that there's probably other people in the world that would definitely change that.
Yeah.
I think that with you guys, I also obviously like our relationship started as like working kind of. But what you were a part of for me was such like an intimate project that I think this is personally, and I won't speak for everybody in the room, but our relationship started out so outrageously important because you guys were part of like one of the biggest moments of my life, and one of the biggest like art projects I had ever made. And so right away I felt so connected, and it obviously didn't freaking help that we got together and instantly we're like, wow,
Holy shit, we
this
just
is
met
it.
our best friends.
Yeah.
in the entire
Yeah.
world.
Literally twin flames.
Totally kismet.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah.
kismet.
It's crazy.
So yeah, I don't think that we ever felt that way. I think like because we were doing business, of course I looked at your following, but like,
Well, yeah.
you know, but I also
send our analytics.
can you send? Yeah, can you? I just want to know what your target demographic is, and if we can be friends. But like, no, it really evolved pretty organically, and I think Vic and I are pretty also good at not judging. Like everyone's at like a different place in their life, and I think we try to remember that, whether it's like social media or we don't judge people based on their career or their jobs, and you guys are the same way, obviously. But yeah, I think that we just both very quickly learned that like people aren't really defined by what they do or how many likes they have or how many followers they have, because that's life right now.
100%.
You came in hot at the beginning of the episode saying liars, cheaters, snakes, we don't have room for them. Cheating. Hot topic.
Spicy.
Whoa, that was crazy.
That was
You're on fire.
Yeah.
Okay, what does everyone think about cheaters?
Well, have you ever been cheated on? Can I ask you a personal question?
I'm like, I am not answering till you address me correctly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Has everyone here been cheated on before?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Cool.
So I literally cry, sobs. I've been cheated on once, and I've cheated once, and they were both with the same person. And like I cheated the same night I found out she cheated on me, and it was like out of spite. And it was really interesting because I went back and forth with telling her the truth about it, because I told her immediately, but then we like broke up, and I like, it's not that I recanted it. I don't really remember how it came up, but anyway, I went back and forth with like being honest with her about it, because I think I was so devastated that like I changed me to my core to be spiteful, which had never been me before. But I have like a little weirdo thing about cheating. It's not weirdo. If Vic cheated on me,
I would never.
I know, and I love you. If Vic cheated on me one time, and through doing that, like if we were so unhappy and having a really hard time and she cheated, and it was one time and it made her realize that what she wanted was at home with me, and she came home and our relationship started getting better, I would be thankful if she never told me that she cheated.
Oh my God.
Do you think it
want her to
would
keep-
ruin the relationship if she did?
I think for me personally, I think that's because my view with cheating is so different that when it's a pattern of behavior, it's a problem.
Right.
And if you do it multiple times, in any, like even two, that's a problem.
Yeah.
If you do it once because you realize, like, because your relationship is in such a fucked up place and you realize what you want is at home, I think that I just wouldn't want to know, because I wouldn't be able to forget it,
Yeah.
because I remember everything.
Even if
Yeah.
you hear that exact sentence that like I did this because we were so shitty,
Yeah,
and
I
it
would
made
have
me
a hard time.
realize.
Because a lot of things you just can't come back from. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you would be the kind of person to not be able to tell me, and I know you feel differently about this topic. Like, you'd want to
feel
know.
very differently.
Yeah. Which is tough because we're in the same relationship. But I too
but-
would never cheat on you.
But yeah, so like I would never cheat on you. So like this is a very hypothetical
Yeah.
situation. But in on my end in this hypothetical situation, if you cheated on me, I would need to know.
Right.
If I found out later on in life that you cheated on me and you didn't tell me,
Do you think that our relationship would survive it either way?
no.
Right.
So
That's
being
you know
told
what I mean?
or being not told, it
Yeah,
wouldn't survive
no,
it.
it would never.
If she came to you and said, this is what I did, and she came to you immediately after she did it, and she came to you and she said, this is what I did, I feel so terrible, it made me realize that you are exactly who I want, what I want, I will never do that again, I had to tell you because I respect you, please forgive me, I love you so much.
Would never be forgiven.
Never ever.
Never. Trust is so fucking important to me.
But for me, I think about trust in the form of honesty. And although cheating is a terrible thing, coming to you and being honest shows me that I can trust you.
I don't know. I don't know if it. I don't know if that shows trust.
That's crazy.
But I would be interested to know if you guys believe that there are levels to cheating.
1,000%.
Because some people say cheating is cheating, whether it's a flirt, a kiss, whatever,
I
fucking.
disagree,
And
yeah.
then other people are like, no, there are different levels.
do you
and
feel like there's different levels?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's all shit regardless,
Yeah.
but I do think there are different levels. And I think that a relationship could survive it depending on the level that it has
Right.
reached.
So if
100%.
Jamie had made out with someone, could you come back from that?
If you didn't tell me about it,
Like we have different boundaries in our relationship.
Yeah.
No, I know, but that's what I'm
apparently,
saying.
right?
Yeah.
But the boundaries are being that everybody knows what's going on.
Right,
So
for
the
sure.
cheating comes in when
For
the person
sure.
doesn't know that it's
Of
happening.
course.
Yes.
100%.
So I mean it in that context. You didn't know what was happening. She went out to
I
a
would,
bar.
Yeah,
she
I
made
would
out with
be,
someone.
I would be absolutely livid.
And we've talked about that before and gone
Yeah.
back and forth a little bit on it. But
my response has always stood that
Right.
if I found out from somebody else, I would be fucking.
it would be
livid.
hard to.
But
yeah.
what if
Yeah.
it was found out from her?
No,
But
it would still
that
be-
would still be like the conversation would be open. Like, I think I don't know. That's where it gets a little bit tough.
Because we view cheating as sex most of the time, right? But there's
I don't view cheating as sex.
I think
no. I'm
cheating-
saying
yeah.
when I say if Jamie cheated on you and told you about it, you view that as sex.
like you just
I don't
slept with
even,
somebody
like,
else.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure, like initially, but I also am very much like if you were emotionally cheating on me, if you had found a connection with somebody else and were hiding it, like that's cheating, and like that is to me almost worse than sex.
Yeah. Another great question is what's worse, emotional or physical cheating?
I think they're both so different, but
Yeah.
emotional is like more devastating.
because it's more personal in a sense of like you fully went out and found somebody else that you would connect with in like such an
Yeah.
intimate way, not a physically intimate way.
Yeah.
That I'm like, oh my god, like it's almost more like, what's the word that I'm looking for?
Personal, like
It just feels worse.
I think I'm actually more lenient with emotional. So when I got cheated on, I, for the first time ever, took a step back, and it actually set me up for a lifetime to date anyway of being able to be pretty reflective of how I play my part in things. And what I was able to see was I played a huge part in her feeling like she went out, and because it was very emotional for her, it was more emotional than it was physical. And I realized how not present I was in the relationship and how much I contributed to us being so unhappy, and I made zero effort, and she tried to make me make an effort and I didn't. And I think that, you know, it's easy for people to say like there's no excuse for cheating, that's it and that's all. Well, we're adults and people are imperfect, and I think the reason I'm more lenient with emotional cheating, not that it doesn't sting harder, because it does, if I saw you having a connection with somebody else, a really intense one, I'd be like, what is so wrong in our relationship, and what part did I play in it, and how can I fix us? And I think I'd be more reluctant if you were like serial cheating out with a whole bunch of other people, just physically, not emotionally. I'd be like, okay, this is the end of that.
Yeah.
But emotional is a little different for me.
I think it hurts just a little more, in my opinion.
I just feel like because of relationships with people, it's very easy to emotionally connect where physical seems worse to me because
Which is fair.
there's no coming back from that. And I think because it's so easy to have a connection with
Yeah.
people and that it could be more of a fine line versus being inside someone, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm
That was a crazy
hypocritical.
sentence.
I'm hypocritical and controversial in the way of, if I were to cheat, I think emotional would be worse for me, for you, I guess. And then I would think it would be worse if you were to cheat physically versus emotionally.
Right.
You're a
You know?
confusing little dude.
I know.
Yeah. Doesn't really make
What
any
tiers
sense.
do you think are different? Like if Mercedes came home and was like, I made out with somebody versus I fucked somebody, would you feel differently?
Yes and no. I think I am so big on respect. Like my biggest thing, and this has been throughout our whole relationship, like if there are ever times that I feel disrespected, that is like a boundary for me. Like I am like, you are never going to disrespect me. And so I think whether you make out with someone or fuck someone, disrespect is disrespect. So to me, it fucking sucks. But I think like obviously going to like the full extent to like fuck someone, you have to meet with them, you have to
that
like
is
find a
planned.
place
Yeah,
to
like,
go.
yeah.
It's like premeditated.
Yeah.
And I don't think you just like, especially when you're in a relationship, I think like not even a kiss could happen accidentally because there is intention, like you want to do it. But I
Yeah.
think that it is a lot less severe than you being like, oh, I accidentally fucked someone. No, you had
you can't
multiple
accidentally
times to
fall
stop.
into their
But if
vagina.
you peck someone and you're like, oh my God,
I think
what
a
the fuck
kiss
am I
could
doing?
happen like spontaneously, where sex doesn't happen spontaneously.
Yeah, like you
Not
You know?
really
Even
spontaneously.
A kiss is pretty
It's
invited.
still-
Like if you
Yeah.
give somebody,
Invited.
I think
Yeah.
that if you give somebody the space, the safe space to feel like they can kiss you,
you?
probably you've gone a little too far with the flirting.
No,
but
100%.
Yeah.
And I think that like, yeah, with full blown sex, that is like you are committing to it. And you also, I would never believe for one fucking second that you weren't thinking about me the whole time. You know what I mean? Like if you were,
like feeling guilty, you mean?
yeah, or
Yeah.
even just like, I don't ever believe that fucking someone is a mistake, because I'm sure there were multiple times in those moments when you were fucking the person that I popped into your head.
And being
I
like,
don't.
shit, I shouldn't be doing this.
100%. So like there is multiple chances to stop it, where like a kiss, yeah, you're inviting it, it happens, but it's like, I feel like that's a bit more forgivable.
Fair.
No, that's fair.
Oh my God, if you ever came home and said I fucked someone, my hands are sweating.
Yeah, I'm
getting a little-
She would be moving to Ottawa.
Oh, and I'll be left in the dust.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
where
my
you
sweet
belong.
warlock.
Why am I mad at you?
Yeah.
No, I'm like, I'm a little heated.
Shocker.
No, I do you ever get heated when you talk about hypothetical questions?
Yeah.
100%.
Like, have you guys ever been in fights over hypothetical situations?
I don't know, for a full blown flight. I'm having a
Full-blown
stroke.
flight.
I need mouth to mouth.
No, we haven't. But like, I think that we've had like pretty strong bickering of being like, really? That's how you feel?
Like the eye
Interesting.
twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, because we do feel we're pretty divided. We find a way to like respect each other's boundaries and like keep talking about it, but we are quite divided when it comes to a lot of relationship things. And it's hard to sometimes find a balance.
Yeah.
I just feel like forever is a really long time, and I think that all of us can no, I feel like listen to the rest of that.
We're breaking up.
No, forever is a really long time. And we're all, I think, aligned that we're sitting next to the partner we want to spend it with, right? And
Me and Victor.
yeah,
What are you
no, we're not gonna,
Mask on mask.
yeah, but like I think
Wait,
that,
for audio listeners, Carly and Vic are sitting next to each other, and
Right.
Yeah.
Jamie and Mercedes
just
are
so you
beside each
can
other.
paint a picture.
Yeah.
But I think that all in all, because forever's a long time and people change and we grow and we experience new things, and things either trigger us or traumatize us, or really beautiful things happen that change us to our core, that like, how do you find a balance to be aligned the entire way through forever? That's crazy to commit to.
Communication.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think like opening the space for it to be okay is probably pretty important.
Cheating to be okay?
No, like changing.
I'm scared.
Oh, I was
Wow.
like, wait, we really took a fucking turn here.
Speaking of taking turns,
Oh.
liars, cheaters, and fucking snakes. Have you guys ever had a pet snake?
Just to cover all of our bases. No, I'm terrified.
I'm absolutely terrified of snakes.
I have a pet Mercedes, and that's as close to a snake. Oh, I'm kidding.
my
Did you like
God.
it?
I
I
love
like
that.
how she
Okay,
started
amazing.
hissing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Really playing the part there.
Yeah.
I'll play the part of the snake
snakes
any
are
day.
like
Icky.
Gross.
Give it heebie-jeebies.
Okay, I'm immediately getting off this topic because absolutely not, and I actually have goosebumps and I hate it and I want to throw up. Can I ask you a personal question segment?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
Do we have a personal question that somebody asked us this week that we want to talk about?
Yeah. What are your goals for 2024?
No liars, cheaters, and snakes.
Yeah. No liars, cheaters, and fucking snakes.
Yeah. I'm personally working towards my own personal business and hoping to get it into some retail stores.
Nice.
And of course,
Plug the brand.
Alter Ego Co.
Woo!
Also, I would like for this podcast to succeed.
I love that. Thanks for including the podcast.
Yeah. Thank you so much for
Didn't even think
including
about
us in your hopes and dreams.
2024.
Yeah, love
2020,
that.
2024.
Love
Okay,
that.
Carl.
I'm having a full stroke.
You're doing great.
My personal goals, obviously I want to like be successful in work endeavors, but I think the most important thing for me right now is like getting my mental health in check. I've been having a lot of anxiety lately, so I really just want to figure out what's going on up here.
Yeah.
That was a hard
And just have like a peaceful and great fucking year and not let my anxiety stop me from just like living my life, you know?
Beautiful. I'm putting good juju out for you.
Thank you.
Mine's quite similar. My mental health stops me from doing a lot of things, and I really just want to live in 2024 in my personal life. And then I want work to be swell.
Swell.
I want to work harder and play harder.
Okay, I love
Okay.
that. Just have a
Love
more
that, baby.
eventful kind of year. Okay, I love that.
Jimbo.
I would say I want to be, I say often, like, be gentle with yourself. I'd love to be able to put it more into practice and give myself space to fall and enjoy getting back up and all, like, the lessons you kind of learn along the way. I would say that's
So poetic.
I'm a songwriter, buddy.
Again, if I cried,
No.
You would do
now
that,
would be the
eh?
time. Yeah.
Put it on a shirt.
Vic,
Yes.
what is your advice for people who are trying to pursue all of their 2024 goals?
I would say perseverance. You know what? Shit gets tough sometimes, but you just got to keep going and just know that at the end of the day, you're on your own path. There's no timeline that is the same for everybody. So also don't compare yourself to the people around you
Preach.
because we're all doing it on our own damn time. But I don't fucking know. I'm not your therapist.
And that's the session, folks.
Cheers, queers.
Cheers.